Hello. So, as you might have been able to tell from a few clips that I got earlier, I went book shopping today. I went to Waterstones and I went to Foyles, and I got 5 books in Waterstones and 4 books in Foyles. So I'm just going to show you what I got. So some of the crime fiction had was buy one get one half price. So obviously I got 2 crime fiction. The first one is The Appeal by Janice Hallett. This is a book completely told in mixed media. It's like emails and text messages and interviews and stuff like that, which I think is so cool that the whole book is told like this. It's something I've never read before. And the blurb says, 1 murder, 15 suspects, can you uncover the truth? There is a mystery to solve in the small town of Lockwood. It starts with the arrival of 2 secretive newcomers and ends with a tragic death. Roderick Tanner QC has assigned law students, Charlotte and Femi, to the case. Someone has already been sent to prison for murder, but he suspects that they are innocent, and that far darker secrets have yet to be revealed. Throughout the Amateur Dramatic Society's disastrous staging of All My Sons and the shady charity appeal for a little girl's medical treatment, the murderer hid in plain sight. Will Charlotte and Femi solve the case? Will you? If that doesn't sound cool, I don't know what does. The next crime fiction book that I've got is The Chain by Adrian McKinty. I've heard really good things about this on specifically from Pocolo Tabitha. I'm pretty sure she read this and really enjoyed it, and I trust her opinions, so I had to pick it up. The blurb says, your phone rings, a stranger has kidnapped your child. To free them, you must abduct someone else's child. Your child will be released when your victim's parents kidnap another child. If any of these things don't happen, your child will be killed. Victim, survivor, abductor, criminal. You will become each one. You are now part of the chain. I feel like I said child about 20 times while I was reading that. But how mad is that? Your child's been kidnapped, and in order to get it back, you have to kidnap someone else's. That is crazy to me. I feel like I'm going to read this so fast. I feel like it's going to get me hooked. Okay, next in Waterstones. Basically, I'm trying to become like a classics girl. I really want to get into classics. I don't read classics. I read classics for like school, for like English exams and stuff. But I've never read classics like for myself, for fun. And I really want to start. And I did quite a bit of research into like how to get into classics, and pretty much everyone said that The Picture of Dorian Gray is like the classic to start with for a beginner because it's the easiest one to read. It just seems like the best one to read for a beginner. So I picked up The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This is the Penguin English Library edition, and it is beautiful. I absolutely love this edition so much. There was loads of different editions in Waterstones, but this is the one I went for because it's cute. And the blurb says, a story of evil, debauchery and scandal. Oscar Wilde's only novel tells of Dorian Gray, a beautiful yet corrupt man. When he wishes that a perfect portrait of himself would bear the signs of ageing in his place, the picture becomes his hideous secret, as it follows Dorian's own downward spiral into cruelty and depravity. The Picture of Dorian Gray is a masterpiece of the evil in men's hearts, and is as controversial and alluring as Wilde himself. That sounds cool. I really want to read this really soon because I really want to become like a classics girl, a classics reader. So hopefully I'll get to this soon. And the next 2 books that I picked up were modern classics because, again, I'm trying to get into classics. So I thought modern classics were like easier than like ancient classics. So the next book is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I love this edition so much. I don't really know anything about this, so the blurb says, working as an intern for a New York fashion magazine in the summer of 1953, Esther Greenwood is on the brink of her future, yet she's also on the edge of a darkness that makes her world increasingly unreal. Esther's vision of the world shimmers and shifts. Day to day living in the sultry city, her crazed men friends, the hot dinner dances... ... Apparently this is partially based on Sylvia Plath's own life, and it's to do with like her downward spiral into bad mental health. So I feel like I will really enjoy it. Well, not enjoy it, but you know what I mean. It'll be insightful. And finally, the last book I got from Waterstones, and another modern classic, is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This is like a dark academia vibe book, and that is just my vibe. I just love dark academia. Also, Bisma read this and said that she thinks I will love it, so I trust Bisma with like my whole heart. so I'm going to give it a go. The blurb says, under the influence of their charismatic classics professor, a group of clever, eccentric misfits at an elite New England college discover a way of thinking and living that is a world away from the humdrum existence of their contemporaries. But when they go beyond the boundaries of normal morality, their lives are changed profoundly and forever. I don't really understand what that means, but I'm here for it. Okay, and then the next 4 books I got from Foyles. I got 4 books there as well, and they were all buy one, get one half price. So I was like, why not? So the first one I got is House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. Honestly, I kind of had really no interest in this at all. Like, I've seen it around BookTube and Bookstagram and stuff, but I never really had any interest in it. But I think that was because I didn't know what it was about. And then today in the shop, I read the blurb and I was like, that is a bit of me. So it says, dark, dangerous things happen around the Hollow sisters. Ever since they disappeared as children, only to reappear a month later with no memory of what had happened to them. Odd, eerie occurrences follow in their wake. When Gray, the eldest, goes missing again, Iris and Vivi are left to figure out the mystery, but they aren't the only ones looking for her. As they brush against the supernatural, Iris realises that the world that returned them 10 years ago might be calling them back, but just how much horror lies beneath the surface. That sounds pretty cool. It sounds like kind of paranormal vibes. It says it's horror. Interesting. The next book I got is Vampires Never Get Old. It's Tales with a Fresh Bite by multiple authors. It's by V. Schwab, Julie Murphy, Rebecca Rowanhorse, Danielle Clayton, Tessa Grattan, and many more, which is exciting. I don't know if you know this about me, but I love vampires so much. I have like a whole vampire shelf on my bookshelves. I just love anything to do with vampires. So this is like little short stories on vampires. The blurb says, in this delicious new collection, you'll find 11 fresh vampire stories from young adult fiction's leading voices. Enter the House of Black Sapphires by Danielle Clayton and discover the secret world of vampires and magic behind the doors of New Orleans. Meet the Boys from Blood River by Rebecca Rowanhorse and their enticing power and terrible sacrifices. And in V. Schwab's First Kill, witness the centuries-old struggle between vampire and slayer and the thrill of forbidden love. Vampires lurking on social media, vampires hungry for more than just blood, vampires coming out and going for their first kill. This collection puts a new spin on the age-old classic. That sounds so cool. I can't cope. I love vampires, and it's nearly spooky season. We're about to go into autumn, and as soon as August is over, to be honest, I'm thinking about Halloween. So I just can't wait to read this. I really want to read this in October, just for the spooky vibes. I'm so excited for this. The next book I got is another crime, fiction, thriller kind of vibe, and it is The Dinner Guest by B.P. Walter. Honestly, what got me most about this was, it says on the back, classic crime meets Donna Tartt. And I just got The Secret History by Donna Tartt, so I just thought that was fate. But the blurb says, 4 people walked into the dining room that night. One would never leave. Matthew, the perfect husband, Titus, the perfect son, Charlie, the perfect illusion, and Rachel, the perfect stranger. Charlie didn't want Rachel at the book club. Matthew wouldn't listen. And then it says, classic crime meets Donna Tartt in this nerve-shredding domestic noir thriller that weaves a sprawling web of secrets around an opulent West London world and the dinner that ends in death. It sounds pretty cool. Again, I had seen this around BookTube and Bookstagram, but I hadn't really paid it any attention until I read the blurb today in the shop, so this just shows that sometimes book shopping in person is actually better than online. And finally, I got Blackout by Danielle Clayton, Tiffany D. Jackson, Nick Stone, Ashley Woodfolk, Angie Thomas and Nicola Yoon. This just reminds me of In the Heights so bad, because it's about a blackout in New York, and that is literally what happens in the Heights, so this is exciting. But it says, when a heatwave plunges New York City into darkness, sparks fly for 13 teenagers caught up in the blackout. A first meeting, long-time friends, bitter exes, and maybe the beginning of something new. When the lights go out, people reveal hidden truths. Love blossoms, friendship transforms, and new possibilities take flight. I've wanted this book since, I can't remember who it was, but I saw someone reading it in a 24-hour readathon. I was watching someone's video. But yeah, I just I'm really excited to read this. I'm really excited for all of these books, to be honest. This was a great day. These are all the books that I got today. I am so happy about it. This was just a great haul, and I love book shopping in person. I can't believe this was like the first time I'd done a big bookshop in person in so long, and I'm so happy about it, honestly. I hope you enjoyed this like kind of video, this style of video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.